have been hammering upon that the quality of instruction, whether they are polytechnics or the degree college, that is declining. Now, there are number of ways by which we can improve the effectiveness of our instruction. So in this particular session, I'm going to take up events of instruction, and Gaine and Briggs, they have worked in this area and they have come out with 9 events of instruction which, when they get integrated into teaching learning processes, they can enhance the effectiveness of your instruction. So when I say events of instruction, you are all familiar with that when you are teaching a particular student a particular subject or a particular program, you are trying to actually aim at holistic development of the student. When I say holistic development, we are trying to develop the intellectual skills. We are trying to enhance the knowledge with respect to a particular discipline. Say, if a student belongs to a civil engineering, then technical knowledge and skills in civil engineering is one component where we would like to make a dent upon. We would like to develop the skills among the students. And the third component is that we would like to sensitize the students to the needs of the society. And here comes in the question of hands-on, that means developing the practical skills, minds-on, that is developing ability to analyze, ability to evaluate, ability to create, which are the higher level abilities in a particular discipline. And the third thing is the hearts-on, that means sensitizing people to the needs of society so that they can contribute their might in improving the quality of life of people. And each discipline consists of number of things. Whatever subject you are teaching, there is factual information in it. When you say mathematics, the value of pi is equal to 22/7. This is a factual information. When you say this particular object is called a meter or a voltmeter, or this machine is referred to as a drill machine, or this machine is referred to as a lathe machine, or in computer science you say it is a monitor, it is a mouse, it is a CPU. It's all factual information. So any discipline will consist of factual information. It will also have certain concepts. When you say the flow is a concept, when you say wall is a concept, when you say roof is a concept, but there are principles also involved in a discipline. When you talk about Newton's law of motion, you talk of gravitational pull, you talk of EMF, or you talk of Ohm's law, Joule's law, Charles' law, all these are principles. And a person not only learns a factual information, concepts, principles, but the person also learns how to solve problems. So problem solving ability is the highest level of learning that takes place while you are teaching a particular subject. In addition to that, when we say these are the areas where we would like to enhance the knowledge of the student, that means learning factual information would call for different conditions of learning. Say for example, I have to simply remember the value of pi is equal to 22/7. Do I need any understanding? I don't need. It is rote memorization. When you say the name of this particular equipment is vernier caliper, or this particular is meter, this is voltmeter, this is a meter, I have to simply remember the names of machines and equipments and tools. It requires only rote memorization on the part of the learner. If a learner repeats that information number of times, the person will be able to remember. Or the person writes this information number of times, he'll be able to remember. Go to the concept learning. There are defined concepts, there are concrete concepts. And the concept learning can be enhanced whereby the learning involves understanding on the part of the learner. He should be able to understand what are the essential attributes of that concept, how this concept differs from the other. Say in mathematics, you are dealing with, say, triangle. Now, when you say triangle, you may be going further into right angle triangle, or you may be going teaching them equilateral triangle. है ना, पढ़ाते हैं. So the person who is learning mathematics, he need to have understanding of what are the attributes of right angle triangle, what are the attributes of equilateral triangle. If he tries to understand those, he'll be able to give you example of right angle triangle and equilateral triangle. He'll be able to differentiate between the equilateral and the right angle triangle, and he'll be able to give examples of that. So a person requires understanding if he has to learn the concepts. And so teacher needs to create entirely different set of conditions in the classroom to develop that understanding. Then comes the principle. The principle learning is evident when a person is able to apply the learned principle in a new situation. Now, say for example, I have learned that stress is directly proportional to strain. ठीक बात है. अब सिविल का है ये. Now this principle can be applied. Say for I am designing a beam. Now there is stress which is exerted on that beam. So I need to calculate how much will be the strain on this particular beam because of the stress which is on that particular beam. In a real situation, I try to apply the principle and say stress will be equally or directly proportional to strain, right? So I'm trying to apply. Or when I put a pressure or exert a pressure on the wall, then how much pressure the wall exerts on my hand. This is which law? Okay, so you are applying that law in a given situation. So principal learning is evident when a person is able to apply the learned principle in a novel situation. And to learn that, that means it is not enough that I state the law, but I need to create a condition whereby the student is able to apply the law in a new situation. So conditions would differ. Teaching conditions would differ. Then comes the problem solving ability. Problem solving means that a person has three capabilities: ability to analyze, ability to evaluate, ability to create. And only then the person will be able to solve the problem. It is not simple application of a learned rule. It requires application of more than two rules. When a person is required to apply more than two rules to find solution to a problem, then it is referred to as problem solving. And that would require that you have certain complex problems given to the students whereby they are able to apply the learned knowledge and skills. So in this session, I am going to refer to the common activities, the experiences which need to be provided to the student so that they can maximize the learning. And these are referred to as the events of instruction. Instruction क्या होती है? Anybody who would like to say? लिखा भी है आपके सामने. हाँ जी. What is instruction? Okay. Okay. So instruction is a much broader term than teaching. Teaching involves now this particular situation where the teacher is in a face-to-face situation and is trying to achieve certain objectives is referred to a teaching situation. But instruction can be provided. It is not essential. It can be provided through a print material. It can be provided through a video film. It can be distance education program. It can be online program where the learning management system has been created. So instruction, when we say, it consists of certain events which provide certain experience to the students for achieving the objectives, and they also help the learner by in supporting its internal processes. जो स्टूडेंट के इंटरनल प्रोसेसेस थॉट प्रोसेसेस चल रहे हैं उसको वो सपोर्ट करता है. And as I said in the beginning, that if I have to learn a principle, it has certain requirements. When we said stress is directly proportional to strain, this is which law? Hooke's law, not Newton's law. So that means if I have to understand and apply this principle, I must have the knowledge of the underlying concepts, that is stress, strain, and proportional. If I understand these concepts, then I'll be able to understand the law and I can apply that law in a given situation. So prerequisite knowledge क्या होगी? ये music क्यों चल रहा है जी? Prerequisite knowledge is the knowledge of the concepts. And if those internal conditions are not fulfilled, I cannot make my students understand the Hooke's law. So certain prerequisite knowledge is essential. The student need to be motivated to learn that principle. Only then the learning can be maximized. But as a teacher, if these internal conditions are fulfilled, I need to create certain external conditions whereby I can maximize the learning. So these are referred to as events of instruction. Events of instruction. Any question so far? Any question? Okay. So we continue with the events of instruction. These are 9 events of instruction which should form an integral part of your teaching learning process. The very first event is gaining attention. I'll take up one by one. Now, when I say attention, how would you like to interpret this term attention? होती क्या है attention? जी. Okay. Concentration. Focus on something. Okay. आप क्या सोचते हो कि without drawing the attention of our students, can we start the teaching learning process? क्यों? क्यों? Learning will not start. Anybody from the Riyadbara campus would like to reply to that? Hello? Yes, Riyadbara campus. Do you think attention is essential to start the teaching learning process? If yes, why? If no, why? Anybody from Engineering College Bikaner would like to reply to this? Hanji, hello.
Attention is very necessary thing. Hello.
Ji, please continue.
Okay. So because if you are in class and students are not paying attention whatever you are teaching them, then it will not possible to transfer the message. So it is essential thing.
May I know the
I
name
think
of the person?
myself, Dr. Sudhir Bhardwaj.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Bhardwaj. So, the very first event of instruction when you enter a classroom and the students are settling down is first to draw their attention. How can we draw their attention? Because the learning process starts with attention. If the student is not, or any individual is not able to pay attention, that means focus or concentrate on a given idea, on a given piece of information, or a given process, given object, the interpretation will not start. We come to the institute. On the way, we see so many things happening around, but we are not aware of all the things. We pay attention to very selected ones. The same is true for the student who is sitting in the class, that he or she is distracted by many elements in the environment, and maybe what I am teaching he is not paying attention to, or he is not focusing on those things. So the very first task of the teacher is to gain attention of the students. I would raise this question: how do you gain the attention of your students in class? Anybody who would like to reply to that? When you go to the class, how do you ensure that student pay attention to what you are going to teach? ये कह के आप शुरू करते हो। ओके, टॉपिक डिस्कस करना है। हाँ जी, एनी अदर रिस्पॉन्स? ये शुरू में ही क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा, बट यस, between. That means we would like to sustain the attention of our learners. But to begin with, when you are going to start your session, how do you gain the attention of your learners? Pragya, yeah, okay. We can, I think if you speak one by one, it will be audible, ma'am. Ji,
But at the moment we greet our students, that is the first step in the attention.
okay.
Then you are able to focus each and every student's attention towards yourself.
Yes.
So, greeting is the first step, and then you slowly move towards the subject for which you are there in the class. You can
Thank you
take,
very much
yes,
for the responses you have given me. Let's see the screen. What do you see here? What is more prominent? Yes? You see the screen? What is more prominent? I see engine. There are so many words written. So what my friend there has said, when you enter a class, the first thing is exchange the pleasantry. Say good morning, students, or good afternoon, depending upon where the class is being likely to be held. It is in the forenoon or in the afternoon. After that, when you flash the topic should stand out from the background. So background should be lighter and the topic should be highlighted. See here, what do you see? Program. There are so many words, but one word which is in a different color, that is able to draw your attention. Look at this. Which is more prominent here? एक जो animated आया है, that drew your attention because this particular word had been not a stationary one but a dynamic, right? So anything which is dynamic would draw your attention. Here, what do you see? There are so many. I'm just giving you these. There are so many animations which are available on Learner's TV. There are so many good small videos on YouTube: dancing canes, falling eggs, a simple buzzer on learners TV, racing skier on learners TV, and then you have Neptel. And if you have seen the Neptel program, they start with audio visual effect and the emblem or the insignia of IIT appears. That itself draw your attention. So what can be done? You can, after exchanging the pleasantry, or you can stand still in a class silently for a fraction of second. You enter the class, silently you stand, automatically the students pay attention. Then comes the subject where you can present a story. Now, in the inaugural session, you have listened to Dr. M.P. Puri. He has a very good technique of storytelling. Whatever idea he wants to throw, he builds or he knits a story around that. That itself draw your attention. You can start with the problem. Now, say for example, you are going to deal with recycling of waste. Now you show how the waste is dumped, what kind of menace it creates, and you can show different types of waste. Maybe you can take up paper, you can take up the plastics, you can take up the solid waste, and you can show that video clip how the waste is being dumped and what kind of problems are arising out of that waste. Then you pose a question, how this waste menace can be eliminated. So maybe the student come out with, sir, recycling of waste can be one of the solution. Or you talk about, you have dealt with first order differential equation, second order. Now you pose a problem which is higher order differential equation. You allow the students to solve that problem. They fail because they have only learned how to solve first order and second order. So they say, oh, none of these formula works. None of this method can be applied to this problem. Then there is a curiosity to learn the higher order differential equation, how to solve those higher order differential equation. So when you are talking about a topic, you can start your session with a story, with a problem, or you can present a new situation which will make them to pay attention to what is being said. You can also take a working model to your class. Now, say for example, I am going to deal with refrigeration and air conditioning. I take a working model which demonstrates the principle of refrigeration. Now this particular model I am carrying, and it is used in the beginning. I show them how refrigeration takes place. Itself can be motivating to the students. Or you are going with a multimedia presentation. As I said, you can show a video clip to your students with respect to the topic you are going to deal. This will also attract the attention of your learners. Or you can start your presentation with a question related to the topic, and that itself will be drawing the attention of your student. So there can be number of different ways of gaining the attention of your learner. And the learning process starts with attention. Unless and until the student pays attention or focus or concentrate on what you want him to learn, learning will not start, right? So the very first thing as a teacher, if you really want to be effective, you need to gain the attention of your students. Second is informing the learners of the objective. All of you might have seen us or read a story, Alice in the Wonderland. कितने लोगों को पता है? एलिस इन द वंडरलैंड? नहीं. Okay. Alice, a girl, was lost in a jungle and she met a cat. She asked the cat, "Which way should I take?" The cat says, "Where you want to reach?" Alice says, "I do not know." The cat reply was, "Any path will do. You can take any path and you will go out of the jungle. But if you're very sure where is your target point, what is your goal or the objective, then a specific path is required." Say, for example, you are at present sitting in ETV studio of Knitted. So I say, go. What will be your question? Where? Where should I go? If I say, go to your hostel, you'll follow a different path. If I say, go to the library, you will follow another path. If I say, go to the computer science department, you will follow another path. So where you want to reach is very, very important. As a teacher, when I go to the class and start teaching, the first thing my students should be able to know, why should I learn this particular topic? And what is expected of me when I learn this topic? So what a student can do at the end of instruction is the second event of instruction. Whatever topic you are going to teach. Say for example, I am going to teach you, say civil engineering ka, we can pick up that I take up soil foundation. Now this topic I am going to teach. My student is bewildered. Why should I know soil foundation? Why should I study this? So as a teacher, I must tell them that after studying this particular unit, you'll be able to understand the concept of soil foundation and the various types of soil foundation. And specifically, you will be able to explain the concept of soil foundation. You will be able to enlist the two types of foundation, deep and shallow foundation. You will be able to differentiate between the deep and shallow foundation. And you can select appropriate type of foundation for a given building in a given context. That is the purpose of teaching soil foundation. Or say for example, if I am teaching programming, the computer science, and I am teaching them say C++, then the student is asking, if he is studying this, what is the ultimate goal? Goal is he should be able to write programs in C++. If that is the objective that I want to achieve, then I must provide them ample opportunities to write program in C++. अगर मेरा पर्पस सिर्फ ये है कि C++ प्रोग्राम लिखने के लिए आप किन रूल्स का ध्यान रखोगे, कैसे एक प्रोग्राम लिखा जाता है, the steps involved in writing a program in C++, then theoretical information would be provided to the student. But अगर मैं ये चाहती हूँ कि they should be able to write programs in C++, then my focus would be to give them small problems for which they write the program in C++. So my methodology would change depending upon what I am going to expect my students to do at the end of instruction. So second जो आपका event है, whenever you go to the class, first make the student understand what they will be able to do after studying a particular topic. That must be clearly spelled out. The third event of instruction is stimulating recall of prerequisites. हम क्या करते हैं? When we go to the class, we assume that students have learned this topic in +2, or students have learned this topic in first year or second year. And many a times we do not even pose a question to our students with respect to that prerequisite knowledge. Assume kar lete hain. And many a times the students have lack of that knowledge, or they have certain misconceptions about those concepts, principles and theories. So a good teacher never tries to assume things. What he does or she does, she or he tries to raise number of questions with respect to the previous knowledge a student brings to the classroom. Take an example of first year student. The first year student has studied physics, chemistry and mathematics. So say for example he joins a branch of electrical engineering. At that point of time, he is familiar with certain concepts in physics, certain principles in physics. He has done certain practicals in physics, right? So whenever I go to the class and I think that while dealing with the concepts, he has the understanding of underlying concepts. He's familiar with, say, current, voltage. He's familiar with resistance. I assume he has the knowledge of that. Why not to ask the student to define voltage? Explain current. क्या होता है? You ask the student, then you will know whether he has the right kind of understanding of those underlying concepts or not. जैसे आप मैथमेटिक्स में भी चले गए, तो मैथमेटिक्स में भी बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, प्रिंसिपल्स हैं जो वो +2 तक सीख के आए हैं. So without assuming, you raise a question, make sure that the student have the right understanding of that concept, principle or theory, and then you proceed with what you are going to teach. So make sure they have the right understanding of the underlying concepts, principles and theories, the prerequisite knowledge. क्योंकि हर टॉपिक के लिए कुछ ना कुछ वो पहले से जानते हैं. तो उसको एश्योर करना by posing questions. You can pose a question. You can give a small problem to them to make sure that they can solve that problem. Then you can take up an advanced problem, or you can take up an advanced method to solve that problem. Or you can give them few exercises, or even you can have a multiple choice test of say 5 to 10 items which assess the prerequisite knowledge on the part of your student. That will help you in relating the new information with the what a student already knows. Right? आसान हो जाता है ना सीखना. तो इसके लिए stimulating recall of prerequisites is an important event of instruction. Then comes presenting new stimuli. अब जो आप पढ़ाने जा रहे हो उसको जो टॉपिक आपने चुना है अपने सब्जेक्ट का उसके बारे में आप जा रहे हो. सबसे पहला प्रिंसिपल है डिफाइन द टेक्निकल टर्मिनोलॉजी. जो भी बेसिक टर्मिनोलॉजी उस टॉपिक में आने वाली है उसको पहले हम एक्सप्लेन करेंगे. उसके बाद उसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन बिल्ड करेंगे. बिकॉज if say for example you are going to deal with IC engine. IC engine, अब ये टर्म आप 10 बार बोलेंगे, 20 बार बोलेंगे क्लास में. So the very first thing is what is IC and engine. If that is made clear, then IC engine terminology can be used number of times, or you can repeat that terminology number of times without confusing your student. Or say for example, I am going to use the word instruction. Say आप प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हैं, प्रोग्रामिंग में इंस्ट्रक्शंस आती हैं. Once that word instruction has been clarified, it can be conveniently used by the student. Or say, when you are dealing with database management and you have made the students clear of the basic terminology like array, stack, queue. Once you have defined these terminologies and clarified these terminologies, the student can easily understand this terminology when repeated by the teacher whenever he or she is explaining the database management. You need not repeat this terminology again and again. So that is the beauty, that you start with defining technical terms, then you go give adequate explanation of that terminology, and you must try to bring out the distinctive features of the various pieces of information which you are giving to them. Now, say for example, if I am dealing with 2-stroke and 4-stroke petrol engine, पढ़ाते हैं? कोई है नहीं मैकेनिकल वाला. Maybe we have mechanical people sitting in the audience in other remote centers. So while you are dealing with 2-stroke, 4-stroke petrol engine, then you are trying to clearly bring out the features of 2-stroke, features of 4 strokes. So depending upon the content you are dealing with, you would like to, or say, as I took an example, that you are taking an example of right angle triangle and you are taking an example of equilateral. So bring out what is the commonality, what are the differences in the equilateral and right angle triangle. Then whatever content you are dealing with, always try to relate that content to the immediate context of the person. How do you relate? By picking up examples from day-to-day life, from picking up examples from the world of work. तो जब आप मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ा रहे हो, तो आप इलेक्ट्रिकल को भी पढ़ा रहे हो, आप सिविल वाले को भी पढ़ा रहे हो, आप मैकेनिकल वाले को भी पढ़ा रहे हो. How do you build the context where this particular mathematic knowledge will be used in electrical engineering? What are the problems where differential equation will be used? Which are the problems where integration will be? So you are taking examples from electrical engineering, you are taking examples from mechanical engineering, you are taking example from electronics and communication engineering. So you are trying to build a meaningful context. Or say for example, we have a participant here who belongs to civil engineering. Now civil engineering you see everywhere happening around you. The buildings are built, houses are built, the hostels are built, the institutions are built, the multi-story buildings are built, the shops and malls are built, high-raising structures are built. So you can pick up examples from the immediate context of the student. Whatever he is able to see around him, you try to create a meaningful context while you're explaining the different types of buildings. Then another one very important principle is the human memory, the short-term memory especially, has a limited capacity. Do you have an idea? What is the capacity of your working memory? कितना हम कितने words याद कर सकते हैं? हाँ जी, anybody from the audience at centers? शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी या वर्किंग मेमोरी की कितनी कैपेसिटी है आपकी? यस, नो रिस्पॉन्स. ओके, So, ma'am, all of you can see on the screen. Monitor, screen दिखाओ, please. Human beings understand and remember no more than 7 plus minus 2 chunks at a time. This phenomena is called the chunking limit. आप 5 से लेके 7 pieces of information you can retain for less than 20 seconds of time. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं आज भी रेनबो के 7 रंग, तो कैसे याद रखा था? अब विबग्योर क्या है? देयर आर 7 pieces of information, but one word was coined by your teacher that you remembered. The just have a look here. ये था. अगर मैं वैसे पूछना शुरू करूं तो शायद हम 7 रंग गिना नहीं सकते. But the moment we are reminded of the Vibgyor, we are able to remember the 7 colors of the rainbow. पीछे क्यों नहीं जानता भाई? Now here, I'll come to these things when we talk about. So when we are talking about the dealing with the topic, your human capacity, the working memory has 5 plus minus 2, that is 7 plus minus 2, so maximum is 5 to 9 chunks of information can be retained by working memory. So a teacher's role is to maximally utilize the working memory of the student. So if you can group related elements together, then it becomes easy for the student to retain that information. So there are number of strategies which can be used to improve the retention on the part of the students. So what we can do? Demonstrate principles, procedures and cognitive strategy. अब देखिए, जब कोई आप प्रिंसिपल कहते हो, जैसे मैंने बोला स्ट्रेस इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू स्ट्रेन, और व्हेन यू से वोल्टेज इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू करंट, है ना, और यू से फॉर एवरी एक्शन देयर इज एन इक्वल एंड ऑपोजिट रिएक्शन. दीज आर ऑल प्रिंसिपल्स. एक चीज है मैं क्लास में जाके स्टेटमेंट दे देती हूँ फिर एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ. इसका लर्निंग कम होगी अगर मैं उनको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करूं how stress is directly proportional to strain, how voltage is directly proportional to current. So I take a circuit, I provide the input, I ask them to take the output. I ask them to take 5 to 7 readings themselves. Then I ask them to plot a graph of voltage and current. The graph itself will enable the students to deduce the law voltage is directly proportional to. तो लर्निंग कहाँ ज्यादा होगी? लर्निंग वहां ज्यादा होगी जब आप उसको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करके बताते हैं. Somebody has said engineering classes should not be held in classrooms but should be held in laboratories and workshops. And I am convinced that works. If I'm dealing with, say, drill machine, and I'm just giving them a figure of the drill machine, I'm explaining the various parts of the drill machine, better would be I take them to the workshop, I show them the real drill machine, I open up the drill machine, or from the outer, I can show the outer parts of the drill machine. I can also show the inner structure of the drill machine by opening it. The effect on the individual, the learning will be much higher when the person is able to see the concrete machine, understand the various parts, and he's able to see the real thing. There is no substitute for the real things. So when you are talking of a principle, when you are talking of the parts of various machines and tools, it's better that you demonstrate by taking the real case. If you are not able to do the real thing, is there any way to demonstrate? Is there any way to demonstrate? Animation and simulation. Now, say for example, if I want to show this is a beam, how much load this beam can take up? I cannot really go on increasing the weight and the beam breaks. This in reality I can't show it. But yes, I can show through simulation. I use the computer, I show the beam, I go on increasing the weight on it, a point would come when the beam would break. So that means this is the load a beam can take. So you understand it better. So when I have as a student seen that happening, that visual imagery is created in my mind. And I am able to retain that information for a long period of time. So when you are dealing with procedures, even the procedures need to be demonstrated. Method 2. Method for, say, how do we prepare a concrete reinforcement? How do we give reinforcement to a concrete? There is a whole procedure involved in it. How do I write a program in visualbasic.net? There is a procedure which is being followed. How do I do the calculation in a mathematics? There is a whole procedure involved in it. So what do? I pick up a problem, I do it step by step, I demonstrate. So that's why it is said the mathematics teacher, when teaching mathematics, they need to use the whiteboard or the green board rather than using the transparencies or the PowerPoint. I need not carry any PowerPoint to the class if I am a teacher of mathematics. I go to the board, step by step procedure I follow, I demonstrate how it is being done. My students are in a better form to learn that. Cognitive strategy. क्या होती है cognitive strategy? What is it? Cognitive strategy? Meaning क्या है? Okay, it has to do with mental. But cognitive strategy refers to how you think, how you recall, how you remember, how you organize your thinking, the ways and means you adopt to locate the information, to organize the information, to remember the information, to recall the information when it is needed, and how do you organize your thought processes. That is what is referred to as cognitive strategy. आप लोगों ने कौन बनेगा करोड़पति जरूर देखा होगा, देखा? And then you must have seen there are certain participants who do the loud thinking. क्या करता था अमिताभ बच्चन? क्या करते हैं वो? क्या करते हैं? प्रॉब्लम दे दी, 4 रिस्पॉन्सेज आ गए. Now the people start giving or ruling out one alternate and another alternate. कुछ लोग तो क्वाइटली करते थे, कुछ लोग क्या करते थे? लाउड थिंकिंग करते थे. So cognitive strategy means how you arrive at a particular strategy, particular right answer. उसके पीछे कुछ रैशनल चल रहा है, कुछ थॉट प्रोसेस चल रहे हैं. अमिताभ बच्चन ये पूछते होते थे, आपने ए क्यों नहीं दिया, आपने बी को क्यों राइट आंसर दी? And the person start giving you the idea why he refuted A, why he refuted C, why he refuted D, and how he arrived at the right answer B. This is, people are sharing their thought processes which impel them to choose a particular alternative. Cognitive strategy यही है कि आप किसी चीज को कैसे रैशनलाइज करते हो, कैसे रूल आउट करते हो, कैसे आप डिफरेंट ऑल्टर्स को एलिमिनेट करते हो, कैसे आप ये इंफॉर्मेशन को अपने दिमाग में दूसरी चीजें जो आप जानते हैं उनके साथ उसको एसोसिएट करके लंबे समय तक किसी इंफॉर्मेशन को याद रखते हो। और अगर कोई आपके पास आ जाती है सिचुएशन जहां आपको अप्लाई करना है, तो आप उस चीज को कैसे अप्लाई करते हो, रिकॉल करके अप्लाई करते हो। दीज आर ऑल रेफर टू एज कॉग्निटिव स्ट्रैटेजीज। सो टीचर्स रोल इज टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट। जब आप बच्चों को क्वेश्चन देते हो, फिर पूछो आप इस आंसर पे कैसे पहुंच गए। इंटीग्रेट मीडिया टू सपोर्ट, टू सप्लीमेंट। दिस इज वेरी सिंपल। जब आप न्यू इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं तो ध्यान रखिए कि जो कुछ आप कह रहे हैं उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए इफ यू कैन टेक द हेल्प ऑफ ए मीडिया, you can show pictures, you can show images, you can show diagrams, you can show animation, you can show simulation. बहुत सारी चीजें आप दिखा सकते हो। Teacher communication is the backbone, so you need to be very efficient and effective in your verbal and non-verbal communication. मैं इसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस नहीं करूंगी because there is one full session on communication. And what Dr. Punia also said, the role of the teacher is to inspire, encourage and engage. So a teacher, because ultimately the learning has to be with the student, आपको सीखना है। अगर मैं आपको इन्वॉल्व नहीं करूं अपने लेक्चर में तो लर्निंग विल बी लेसर। लेकिन जहाँ पे आपकी एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन है, either through questions, either through tasks or through exercises, या मैं आपकी मेंटल स्टिमुलेशन आपको दे देती हूँ, वहां पे आपकी लर्निंग ज्यादा है। जो चीज आप करोगे उस चीज को ज्यादा आप समझोगे भी, जानोगे भी, रिटेन भी बेटर करोगे और उसको रिकॉल करने में भी आपको आसानी रहेगी। So student involvement is important if we really want to increase the effectiveness. Then it is important that we give adequate opportunities to our students to ask questions, clarify their doubts. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, 50 मिनट खुद ही बोलते हैं and thank you very much and I move out from the class. मुझे तो पता नहीं बच्चों को पूरा समझ आया या नहीं आया। So allow the students to raise as many questions as they can and try to satisfy them. ठीक है, कई बार ऐसा होता है आपके पास जवाब नहीं होता। So make it a point that you say that tomorrow you will start your lecture by first answering this question. पहले तो क्लास को अपॉर्चुनिटी दे दीजिए। अगर क्लास में से भी कोई आंसर नहीं कर पाता, नेक्स्ट डे यू मस्ट स्टार्ट योर लेक्चर बाय गिविंग आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन द स्टूडेंट हैज रेज्ड, बट दिस शुड नॉट बी रेपिटेटिव। हर बार नहीं मुझे ये कहना बच्चों को कल बताऊंगी, फिर वो बोलेगा कि आप टीचर काहे के हो, घर ही बैठो। फिर होता है ऐसा, यू गेट डिससेटिस्फाइड विद द टीचर हु इज नॉट एबल टू आंसर। कभी हो जाता है कि आपको नहीं पता, बिकॉज आज information is available on the click of the mouse to the student, and many students who are of high intelligence or sometimes who are mischievous, they will go to the net, read that, raise difficult question in the class. The teacher may not know because मैं सारी knowledge तो मेरे पास भी नहीं है, आपके पास भी नहीं है as a teacher. So you should be ready to answer if you have gone in for deep reading of the subject and you have deep understanding, you will be able to answer the question. Generate interaction and collaboration. Give opportunities to your students to work in teams, small groups, and you try to allocate individual responsibility to your students. So learning will be more. अब देखिए, next very important principle or event of instruction is, while you are presenting new information to your students, you also need to facilitate the process of learning. तो हम कैसे करते हैं, मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल आपकी ली थी, but there are number of things you can use mnemonics. I'll explain one by one. Analogies, metaphors, examples, tabular forms, comparisons, illustrations. Excuse me, इसको switch off करें, ठीक है. Now here I started with कि आज भी आपको इंद्रधनुष के 7 रंग क्या याद करके आया, विबग्योर, है ना. विबग्योर में हम लोगों ने करा क्या है, प्रज्ञा, first alphabet of all the different colors, and this is a technique which is known as mnemonics. ठीक है, आज भी बोर्ड मास याद है, याद है, ठीक है. Here you can read this. My very educated mother just showed us 9 planets. And M से आपको क्या याद आ गया, मरकरी. V से क्या आया, Venus. E से क्या आया, अर्थ. Mars, then Saturn, then Jupiter, then Uranus, then Neptune, then, ठीक है. बट अदरवाइज मुझे 9 पूछोगे तो मुझे नहीं आते एकदम याद कि कौन कौन से 9 है. लेकिन इफ आई रिमेम्बर माई वेरी एजुकेटेड मदर जस्ट शोड अस 9 planets, देन द फर्स्ट वर्ड को मैंने वो उसके साथ जोड़ लिया. वेरी इजी टू रिमेम्बर द planets, 9 planets. मैं बाद में दे दूं. ओके, लिख लीजिए. My very educated mother just showed us 9 planets. ठीक है. इसी तरह have a look. ये एक सेंटेंस है. Big elephants can always upset small elephants. And उसका पहला वर्ड पिकअप कर लिया तो क्या बन गया, because. तो पूरा सेंटेंस मुझे याद रहेगा, कभी नहीं भूलूंगी. If I simply remember, because. मैडम ने क्या पढ़ा, छोटे बच्चे की बात कर रही हूँ. It's very easy to. Big elephants can always upset small elephants. ठीक है. अब देखिए, then there is analogies. Analogies क्या होता है, 2:4 is to 4:16, है ना. 2 का स्क्वायर 4 है, 4 का स्क्वायर 16 है, 2:4 is 4:16. यही कहते हैं ना. यू कैन सी हियर, जैसे आपने कहा बैटरी, फ्लैश लाइट, हार्ड ड्राइव इज टू कंप्यूटर. ठीक है. बैटरी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ फ्लैश लाइट. fatigue is to yawning, itching is to scratching, mother is to home, teacher is to school, obese is to fat, slender is thin, Chicago is to Illinois, Denver is to Colorado, pound is to kilogram, quarter is to liter. So you can, whatever subject you are using, if you can bring in analogies. अब analogies देने का क्या फायदा हो जाता है, certain things are here. Maybe I am familiar with quarter and liter, so it will be easy for me to remember pound to kilo. ठीक है. So जो मुझे पहले से आता है उसके साथ एक relationship होता है, और मेरा जो mental horizon है that gets into a habit of building associations, building relationships among the various things I am studying. ठीक बात है. मेरी similarities को identify करने में भी मुझे help करता है. Now here see simile. Pragya can correct me. As tall as a giraffe. है ना, कहते हैं ना. नहीं, simile क्या होती है, similarity. देखो, as hot as the sun, as big as a hippo, as red as blood, as soft as a cloud, as sly as a fox, as fast as a pig, as tasty as KFC. तो कितनी चीज़ों की आप जो है सिमिली यूज कर सकते हैं. सो व्हेन यू यूज अ सिमिली, easy for the student to retain that information. तो आप metaphors यूज कर सकते हैं, analogies यूज कर सकते हैं. You can use similes. Metaphor क्या है? Two different things which are remotely related to each other, you try to bring in relationship. अब देखिए इसमें क्या हो रहा है, हार्ट और हीट पंप, इन दोनों को रिलेट किया. इज देयर एनी सिमिलैरिटी? नो. हार्ट और हीट पंप, लेकिन दो चीजों, जैसे आपने कहा हिज मसल्स आर एज स्ट्रॉन्ग एज द स्टील. स्टील और इंसान के मसल्स का कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं है, ठीक है. बट यू से बटरफ्लाइज इन द स्टमक बोलते हैं ना, तो वो कोई लेना देना थोड़ी है. दिस इज अ मेटाफर ओनली. बट व्हेन अ पर्सन यूजेस अ मेटाफर, पीपल रिमेंबर दोस मेटाफर्स. ठीक है. ये आपका क्या है, पीरियोडिक टेबल है ना. तो अगर मुझे केमिस्ट्री में ये पीरियोडिक टेबल अगर टीचर ने यूज किया था तो आसानी से समझ आया था. अगर वैसे ही बताना शुरू कर देते तो शायद मुझे आज भी कुछ नहीं याद होता. तो टेबुलर फॉर्म्स व्हेन यू यूज, they facilitate learning on the part of the student. The next event of instruction is आपने पढ़ा लिया, आपने गाइडेंस भी देती हाउ टू रिमेंबर दिस. तो उसके बाद है I must ensure that my students have rightly understood. तो मैं क्या करूंगी, सबसे आसान तरीका है क्वेश्चनिंग. So you start posing questions, and when the student reply, then you understand whether he has rightly understood or not. कहाँ पे आपको दोबारा बताने की जरूरत है, या अगर एक स्टूडेंट नहीं समझा तो दूसरे स्टूडेंट से पूछा, अगर उसने भी राइट आंसर दे दिया, दैट मीन्स इट इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद वन स्टूडेंट एंड नॉट विद द रेस्ट ऑफ देम. तो आप जब दूसरे स्टूडेंट ने राइट आंसर दिया तो पहले वाले को बोला दोबारा बोल दो. You make sure that the student who has not understood is able to understand. Rapid fire question. ये अब हम क्या कर सकते हैं? Okay, I have taught you a major section of the topic. Then I say, okay, let's have a quick rapid fire question round. So मैं छोटे छोटे 5-6 questions आपको rapidly पूछ लेती हूँ, and that makes me understand whether you have understood or not. मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन, इजी वे, रिटर्न में मैं लेके आती हूँ. आई हैव प्रिपेयर्ड 10 क्वेश्चंस. आई गिव दैट लिस्ट टू यू. आई आस्क यू टू सॉल्व दैट मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन. दैट विल आल्सो गिव मी एन आइडिया वेदर यू हैव राइटली अंडरस्टूड और नॉट. मैथमेटिक्स में तो यही होता है, आप डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करते हो, स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसीजर सिखाते हो. इसी तरह व्हेन यू गो फॉर डेरिवेशंस, उसके बाद you need to give practice to your student. तो आप बच्चों को क्या करते हो, एक या दो न्यूमेरिकल दे देते हो. Then they solve. Then you find out whether they are able to do it rightly or not. है ना, किस स्टेप पे वो गलती करता है बच्चा. You can always identify. Demonstrate the acquired skill by performing a task. तो एक ही बात है, मैथमेटिक्स में जैसे आपने प्रॉब्लम दी वो सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, या बच्चे को आपने ब्लैक बोर्ड पे बुला लिया, अब आपने कहा बेटा अब आप डेरिवेशन करके बताओ. इज परफॉर्मिंग अ टास्क. सो व्हाट वी हैव बीन डूइंग एज टीचर, विदाउट assuring ourselves of understanding by the students, we go and test them. हमें तो यही नहीं पता है कि उनको पूरी चीज आई है कि नहीं आई, और हम उनका टेस्ट लेना शुरू कर देते हैं. सो इंस्ट्रक्शन को इफेक्टिव बनाने के लिए इट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट वी फर्स्ट एलिसिट द परफॉर्मेंस एंड देन वी प्रोवाइड फीडबैक टू आवर स्टूडेंट्स. अब जो फीडबैक की बात करते हैं, फीडबैक इज नथिंग बट नॉलेज ऑफ रिजल्ट्स. आप बच्चे ने अगर कोई आंसर दिया है और आप उसको बताते हो कि ये राइट है या रॉन्ग है, इज फीडबैक। यही होता है ना। बट जब हम फीडबैक देते हैं, सिर्फ इतना कहना कि राइट है इज नॉट सफिशिएंट। वी मस्ट प्रोवाइड करेक्टिव फीडबैक टू आवर स्टूडेंट। जो पार्ट गलत है उसको ठीक कैसे करना है ये बताना ज्यादा जरूरी है। सो इसलिए इट इज सेड फीडबैक इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, बट फीडबैक हैज टू बी इमीडिएट। अभी मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा, आपने आंसर करा, उसी समय मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि ये गलत है या ठीक है। अगर मैं 10 दिन के बाद बोलूं भैया जो जवाब आपने दिया था वो तो गलत था, अब ना तो बच्चे को सवाल याद है, ना उसको अपना आंसर याद है, ना उसका कोई फायदा होने वाला है। सो इट हैज टू बी इमीडिएट। ऑब्जेक्टिव। अब देखिए, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव टू स्टूडेंट, मिस्टर आसिफ है ना, और मेरे पास आशुतोष है। यहाँ पे आशुतोष आंसर देते हैं, वो पार्टली राइट है और मैं कहती हूँ राइट है, बैठ जाओ। वही आंसर मिस्टर आसिफ दे रहे हैं और मैं कहती हूँ इनके ऊपर बरस पड़ती। So I am not objective in assessing my or providing feedback. So when you are providing feedback, it has to be task related, a specific feedback. इनको मैं बोलूं नहीं जी तुम्हें तो कुछ नहीं आता, no, this is all subjective assessment. So I need to tell which part of the question is right and which part of the question is wrong. It is only task related specific information which goes back to the student. Then I must make sure that whatever is wrong, how to correct it, वो मैं feedback उनको provide करूँ. This will help the student to improve the performance. Last is वो immediate तो ले लिया मैंने पहले. So these 5 are the important characteristics of feedback that must be provided to the student. अब जब आप फीडबैक दे लेते हो, बच्चे को आपने असेस एलिसिट कर दी परफॉर्मेंस, उसकी परफॉर्मेंस को इम्प्रूव करने की भी आपने कोशिश कर ली. नाउ इज द टाइम टू असेस द परफॉर्मेंस. तो नेक्स्ट क्या इवेंट होनी चाहिए? असेसिंग द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट. अब उसको आ गया है, आपको पता चल गया कि बच्चे ने समझ लिया है. Now comes the time where you can give assignment, you can give a small project, you can ask the student to present a seminar, या आप कोई formal एक test quiz कर सकते हो, test कर सकते हो, which you can give to your student. So there is one session on assignments, tutorials and exercises, तो वो details वहाँ पे cover करेंगे. अब देखिए जो 9 events हैं, how these facilitate the learning process. Gaining attention जो आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं, so the learning process starts with an individual paying attention to a particular thing, object, phenomena, process, idea, information. So learning starts with attention. ठीक है? Then there is expectancy. There is always an element of expectancy. Expectancy क्या है? आप क्या समझते हो कि क्या एक स्टूडेंट कर पाएगा? That is your expectancy. And this is directly the second stage of learning. Then you see retrieval to working memory. जब भी हम कोई चीज देखते हैं ना, जो हम पहले से जानते होते हैं, उसको अब हम अपनी वर्किंग मेमोरी में लेके आते हैं. तो हमने क्या करा, टीचर ने क्या करा? स्टिमुलेट द रिकॉल ऑफ प्री रिक्विजिट. यही था ना. अगर मैं आईसी इंजन पढ़ा रही हूँ तो इंजन वो पहले पढ़ चुका है, इंटरनल का मीनिंग उसको पहले से आता है, कंबस्चन का मीनिंग उसको पहले से पता है. Now I am trying to relate those things and say IC engine. So उसके बाद selective perception. जो आपकी perception होती है learning में, ये अगला step है कि whenever you see something, You try to interpret and give meaning to the incoming information, और उसको बोलते हैं perception. Sensation plus interpretation or attaching a meaning to sensation. जैसे सपोज कर लीजिए मैंने इसको देखा और मैं कहती हूँ ये वीडियो कैमरा है, ये क्या है? I have looked at, paid attention to the video camera, then I have tried to interpret this object as video camera. This is nothing but perception. जैसे हम रात को जा रहे हैं ट्रेन पे और स्टेशन पे हमें एक धुंधली सी इमेज नजर आती है, हम कहते हैं वहां पे पेड़ है, हमें पूरा पेड़ नहीं दिख रहा, बट क्योंकि हमने प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है, वी ट्राई टू इंटरप्रेट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन एंड वी से दैट इज ए ट्री. या हमें एक रेडी नजर आ रही है चलती हुई, हम कहते हैं कोई ठेले वाला जा रहा है, कहते हैं ना, दिस इज योर परसेप्शन. देन आप परसेप्शन को, अब जो चीजें आप पढ़ा रहे हो वो सबसे पहले बंदे की शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी में जाती है, शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी से वो लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में जाती हैं. उसके लिए क्या है, हमें मेंटल रिहर्सल करनी पड़ती है या इलेबोरेशन करनी पड़ती है. मेंटल रिहर्सल क्या है कि आपने मुझे बता दिया, इसको माइक बोलते हैं या पब्लिक एड्रेस सिस्टम. मैं 10 बार बोलती हूँ इसका नाम है पब्लिक एड्रेस सिस्टम, पब्लिक एड्रेस सिस्टम, पब्लिक. एक तो ये तरीका है. आप मुझे फोन नंबर दे देते हो, मैं कहती हूँ भाई उसके घर का नंबर है 228 390 या 2228390. अब मैं बार बार इसको रिपीट कर लेती हूँ तो मुझे याद आ जाएगा. या मैं इनका कहती हूँ इनका नाम आशुतोष है, 2-4 बार अपने मन में रिवाइज कर लूंगी, देन आई एम श्योर कि हिज नेम इज आशुतोष. ठीक है. लेकिन दूसरा तरीका ये है कि जो मैं पहले से जानती हूँ मैं उसके साथ उसको रिलेट करती हूँ न्यू इंफॉर्मेशन. दैट इज वेयर आई एम एंटरिंग इनटू इलैबोरेशन. सो टीचर क्या कर रहे हैं, लर्निंग गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड करता है जहाँ पे एनोलॉजीज देता है, सिमिलीज देता है, मेटाफर्स का प्रयोग करता है, टेबुलर फॉर्म देता है, एग्जाम्पल्स पिकअप करता है, इलस्ट्रेशंस देता है. दिस इज प्रोवाइडिंग लर्निंग गाइडेंस. तो आपका कहाँ जा रही है इंफॉर्मेशन, टू द लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी. अब जब मेमोरी में चला गया सब कुछ लर्निंग का, लर्निंग वहां खत्म नहीं होती. A person is required to recall that information and apply in a given situation. That is what is referred to as responding. ठीक है, that is what is referred to as responding. अब टीचर क्या कर रहा है, एलिसिट कर रहा है. एलिसिट के करने के बाद क्या कर रहा है, is providing the feedback and then he is assessing the performance. और लर्निंग में एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट है रीइंफोर्समेंट. कहते हैं इफ अ पर्सन गिव्स अ डिजायर्ड रिस्पॉन्स, द पर्सन नीड टू बी एप्रिशिएटेड, रिकॉग्नाइज्ड, some recognition need to be given, some monetary reward needs to be given. Then क्या करते हो, you strengthen the desired behavior. अब बच्चे को आपने सवाल पूछा, उसने ठीक आंसर दे दिया, आपका नॉर्मल रिस्पॉन्स क्या होता है, वेल डन, गुड, एक्सीलेंट बोलते हैं ना. कभी कभी टीचर पैट ऑन द बैक भी दे देता है, कभी कभी टीचर ताली भी लगवा देता है कि भी बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया. Now these are all ways and means of reinforcing the right behavior on the part of the student. और जो चीज आप reinforce करोगे, that behavior will get strength. तो कल भी आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे ना, वो बच्चा हाथ खड़ा करेगा कि मैं बताता हूँ, because you have reinforced the desired behavior. Then comes enhancing retention and ट्रांसफर. ये बहुत जरूरी है फॉर अ टीचर. आई थिंक आई मिस दैट इन द इवेंट्स. अब देखिए, पीरियोडिक रिवीजन, अगर स्कूल में थे हम तो टीचर क्या करते थे, सारा सिलेबस करा के दे यूज टू कीप द लास्ट वीक फॉर द रिवीजन. उसका क्या फायदा होता था, एग्जामिनेशन में हम अच्छा परफॉर्म कर पाते. अभी हमारी सबकी शिकायत होती है, we are not able to review because syllabus ही पूरा नहीं होता. So I would say, as a teacher, if you are able to deal with 3 topics, एक क्लास आप रखिए जहाँ पे आप बच्चों की डिफिकल्टीज, बच्चों की प्रॉब्लम्स, बच्चों की क्वेरीज को सॉल्व करने के लिए रखें. उससे क्या होगा? When you have told the students, okay, a class will be devoted to these 3 topics, students will read those 3 topics, they'll come prepared with their doubts, and हो सकता है जब क्वेश्चन पूछे दूसरा साथी ही आंसर कर दे, है ना? तो एक क्या होगा? क्विक रिविजन ऑफ दोस 3 topics would be there. So always make it a point that once you are through with the major section of your syllabus, keep some time for this kind of interaction with your student. Another is transfer. ट्रांसफर ऑफ लर्निंग क्या होता है कि जो कुछ मैंने क्लास में सीखा है, अब उसको डे टू डे लाइफ में मैं कैसे अप्लाई करूंगी, वर्ल्ड ऑफ वर्क में कैसे अप्लाई करूंगी. अगर आपने मैथमेटिक्स वालों ने एक बच्चे को माइनस सिखा दिया है ना, तो अब सब्ट्रैक्शन सिखा तो दी, अब क्या चाहते हो बच्चों से? ये लाइफ में दे शुड बी एबल टू यूज दैट, अप्लाई दैट नॉलेज. तो आप क्या करते हो? बच्चे को 1000 रुपए का नोट दिया, भेज दिया मार्केट, 4 चीजें लिख के दे दी, बेटा खरीद के लेके आ जाओ. जब पैसे लेके आया आपको लगा कम आ गए, तो आप क्या कहते हो? माइनस करके नहीं देखा था, इसको जोड़ के माइनस करके नहीं देखा कितने पैसे वापस मिलने चाहिए. A person who has learned to subtract will be able to do the calculation and bring the balance amount back to home. तो आप ये चाहते हो. So tell the students where a particular concept law is applicable. Tell him what are the situation where this law principle is not applicable. तो transfer of learning के chances बढ़ जाते हैं. So these are in nutshell 9 events of instruction. If they become a part of your instruction, the effectiveness of instruction goes. ठीक है? Any questions you have? कोई question है? Okay. Any question from Engineering College, Bikaner? Hello.
हेलो.
हाँ जी सर, कोई सवाल है आपका?
हेलो.
जी हेलो. या वी आर एबल टू. हाँ जी बोलिए प्लीज.
Madam, the way you explain all the things, actually, because I want to say that practically, is it possible all the things we are strategy we are going, because the class we follow all the strategy we are discussing here, then I think those will not be completed.
सर ऐसा है, the question which you have raised, intentionally or unintentionally, you are trying to integrate these events of instruction into your teaching learning. लेकिन जब हम इसको टेक्निकली बोल देते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि ये नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन ये चीजें आप unknowingly you are embedding. And if you think of your, नहीं सर ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका सिलेबस पूरा नहीं होगा, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. We are also taking up MTech classes and we try to maximize the use of these events. अब मेरी बात सुनिए, अब जब भी क्लास में जाते हैं, tell me which one is not being utilized. सर आपको क्या लगता है कि कौन सी इवेंट का आप नहीं प्रयोग करते हैं?
No, actually, I want to say that we are following all the things, but as you said, we should first show that dynamic things the student for getting attention. The similar thing I learned from somewhere that one of our professors said that when I go to the class, I say student that I have a new job for you. So there is several methods for gaining attention of the student for the teaching.
सर देखिए, एक चीज मैं यहाँ पे बोलना चाहूंगी कि ये जो इवेंट्स हैं, दीज आर नॉट डिस्टिंक्ट 9 इवेंट्स, ये आपका एक फ्लो चलता है, दीज आर knitted together. जब भी आप कोई कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ाओगे, all these things would come into play. मैं आपको एक सिंपल बात करती हूँ. देखिए, जब आप बोर्ड यूज कर रहे होते हैं, एक तो है कि इन द बिगिनिंग यू आर गेनिंग द अटेंशन, लेकिन जब आप बोर्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, सर्टेन थिंग्स यू राइट इन द कैप्स, certain things you underline, certain things you highlight. अब ये सारी चीजें क्या है? It is only to gain attention of your learner. आप जब भी कोई नया प्रिंसिपल या थ्योरी पढ़ाते हैं, एक आधा सवाल आप जरूर पूछते हैं जो कि बच्चे की प्रीवियस नॉलेज को टेस्ट करता है. They don't go one by one. As you switch off from one component element of the topic to another, ये 9 की 9 events of instruction दोबारा repeat होती है. You cannot say कि पहले मैंने 5 मिनट गेन कर ली attention, उसके बाद मैंने रिकॉल कर लिया, उसके बाद मैंने ये कर लिया. नहीं, it is all divided into the various elements of the topic. तो अगर आप 9 नहीं कर पाए और आपने 5-6 भी कर ली है, तब भी आपकी इफेक्टिवनेस ज्यादा होगी in comparison to where none of these events get embedded. तो कोशिश होनी चाहिए कि 9 की 9 को हम करें, but if we are doing it, some of these events get embedded, उतना ही अच्छा हो जाएगा. This is applicable when you are going in for expository teaching. लेकिन जैसे ही आप डिस्कवरी लर्निंग या गाइडेड डिस्कवरी लर्निंग अप्रोच फॉलो करेंगे, तो उसमें ये इवेंट्स ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं होंगी, पूरी नहीं होंगी. उसमें द मेथोडोलॉजी विल बी डिफरेंट. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? रियात बारा कैंपस, डू यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन फॉर मी?
Ma'am, which one of these 9 instructions is much occupies the major portion for effective teaching?
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
Ma'am, which of these 9 instructions, out of these 9 instructions, which one should be the should occupy the major portion for the effective?
Ma'am, major portion would be presenting stimulus material, providing learning guidance, ये 4, eliciting performance and providing feedback. ये जो 4 हैं, ये 4 आपकी ज्यादा टाइम लेंगी. और ये जो ऊपर वाली है, gaining attention, informing learners of objective, stimulating recall of reading, this will take lesser time. Likewise, assessing performance and enhancing retention would take lesser time. बीच वाली 4 जो हैं वो ज्यादा टाइम लेंगी. आपका major time would be devoted into these 4. मिडिल वाली, हाँ जी, मिडिल वाली.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other question? So thank you very much for